what is going on? It's cold, really cold. We're gonna do some work on the RESTO GEN again today. Got a couple little fun things we're gonna do on it, just some more dress up stuff. So I'll show you what we got. Oh, we've got some old parts. We've got the old first gen headlights, Whistling Diesel Dually tail lights. We've got a billet intake manifold plate thing. I'm not exactly sure what all we're gonna have to remove to put this on, but this thing will look good. We've also got some valve covers as well, so we're gonna see if we can do this cover in the valve covers right now. So I did get the top plate off of the valve covers, and here's the nuts that we're holding it on. What I think I'm gonna do before I actually start changing anything else out is, before I start working on that, is try to pressure wash this engine bay down a little bit more, cover up the intake and stuff the new piping the best that I can, but then try to really pressure wash this stuff down a lot more, just because it is really grimy. You can see all the grime and the dirt, just all that was trapped under all that. So I just want to try to clean it up the best that I can before proceeding with this. Otherwise, we could end up having some not so fun issues with stuff falling in, essentially messing stuff up, and just wouldn't be well. The truck would still probably run, but it's just not good for it. We're gonna try to get this stuff cleaned up, and also for the intake side, that way we don't, you know, have like dirt and debris. You can see all the dirt back there, like something falling in there, and then we can't get it out. So we're gonna try to pressure wash this down, then maybe vacuum around it, and then we're gonna proceed with swapping out the valve covers, and then hopefully the manifold cover as well. So we got the engine bay pressure washed down, much better. Looks a lot cleaner under there. There's still a little bit of grime, still a little bit of dirt. Get this camera to focus, there we go. But overall it's much cleaner, and it's gonna really help out with this process. And the process is actually super simple. However, you still don't wanna get like dirt and stuff under the valve covers or in the intake manifold, because that would not be good. So we're gonna be taking off the valve covers. We're gonna do them one by one. I don't wanna do them all off, then, you know, put all the new ones back on. Sorry for the rain running off of the trees on that side of the barn, but we're gonna be taking these off front to back, just one at a time, taking them off, putting the new ones in, and I'm excited. I think it's gonna look really good when it's done. And also, when I'm done, should I pressure wash this down and clean this up and put this back on top? Yes or no? And here's actually the valve covers that I went with. Pretty generic. I've used them before. And the reason I use these is because they're easy to find online. They're simple, they're clean. And then if I want to put that cover back on top, at least it'll have a nice grime-free valve cover, but I'll probably leave them open for now. If you guys think I should put that back on, I'm totally open to it. I just really don't like old chipped up valve covers. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you look at these ones, they're all pretty well chipped. They're all just old and wore out. Let's try to get these changed out. So the wife is deer hunting. My camera died. It's about to go charge it up, but I'm watching the baby. I have to have the door open to get signal for that thing. But let me show you what we got with the RESTO GEN. I had to stop for about an hour and a half to take care of the son. He needed some assistance and feeding and other stuff, so I had to address those needs. Here's where we're at. We've got all of the valve covers on the truck. It looks really good. It looks so much cleaner under the hood of this thing. I was planning to do the manifold cover, the billet cover piece. I still want to do that. Do I do that right now? It's really dark in the shop. What I need to do is pick up one of those shop lights like what my dad has, or actually maybe even just buy his off him, since, you know, the reason he bought it was because we were using it in his shop so much. But now that I don't film over there, we don't really use it over there anymore. So I gotta get something so I can hook it to the hood and get some lighting under the hood of the trucks when they're in the shop, because our lighting in here is not that great. It is really not good. So we finally got the windshield wiper blades and the windshield wiper you know, arms on there themselves in place. I'm gonna get new blades, but these ones are fine for now. They're not like completely ripped apart, but they're a little bit dry. I guess that's what will happen when they sit in the barn for months not being used. So at this point, I've got all of the bolts out of the intake manifold cover. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get it out of there. I'm probably gonna have to take off a couple of these small brackets that separate the fuel lines and keep them stable. That also have bolts running through them to fasten it to the actual intake manifold cover. So we're gonna try to figure that out. It is the next day, fam. We're gonna take a quick measurement of this beautiful specimen right here because we need to get a quote for shipping since our friend Austin's out of Utah. 224 inches long, 96 inches wide, and 80 inches tall. So what we're gonna do is try to finish this intake manifold cover project with the first gen. There shouldn't be a ton more to do. Basically where we left off last night was we got the intake horn taken off with the grid heater. We got the bolts ran out of the cover. The thing that we're gonna have to do now is figure out how we're gonna basically pry it loose. We're probably gonna have to remove these small brackets here in this location here, and that last one right there. Remove these right here for this sensor there and that sensor back there. That way we can finagle that thing out of there. Now, I'm hoping that we can slide it back, and then with that added room with these brackets taken off, because they kind of take up a lot of space, then we can just kind of lift it up and pull it out, and then with the new one, slide it back under those fuel lines, lower it down, and set it down in place. If it's gonna be that easy, I don't know, but that's the goal. Got all the small little brackets removed and the sensors. So now what we've got to do is carefully, as you can see here, break that gasket free, and then you can hear it coming up there, popping up slowly but surely. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to pop that loose, and then like I said, we're going to try to get that thing out of there without getting a bunch of junk down in the intake. Before installing a new one, I'm going to vacuum out the intake side just to make sure I didn't get anything harmful in there. Mission complete with the extraction of that intake manifold cover. So here that is. It is grimy, it is nasty. Oh, it's gross. It's just nasty. That is the old one. Let's show you the new one here. I showed it to you guys yesterday. Here's the new one. It should be pretty straightforward. I mean, just reinstall. And yes, we are putting a new gasket on this as well. And finally, it is swapped out and installed. Looks really good. So here's the final product for this segment of the RESTO GEN project. Like I said, we did some pressure washing in the engine bay. We did some new valve covers, new intake manifold cover. I mean, it looks good. Everything looks much, much better, much cleaner. There's still a lot to be done under the hood of here. There's just so many like dusty little things that just need like a deep clean. But so far, I mean, it looks good. Now I'm gonna start this thing up and back it out because I gotta get this out of the shop. Well guys, that is gonna put a wrap on today's upload, but do not forget that if you want to enter to win our truck of the month, it's a 2004 5.9 Cummins, ready to be shipped off to one of you lucky customers who place an order at lmpgear.com. That's literally how easy it is to enter. Just go to lmpgear.com, buy anything at the store, whether it be a hoodie, a cap, keychain, decal, anything off the store, and every order is gonna get you entries towards winning the truck of the month plus $5,000 cash. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.